It's Thursday, May 21st, 2009. This is an update about the City Council meeting that happened this week. Not a whole lot went on. It was a pretty quick, pretty uneventful meeting. Just a few things I'd like to give you updates on. If you get a chance, if you watch the Jane Balo show, there you'll see Mark Bilderbeck and myself discussing a number of issues on there. At the City Council meeting, we did do a preliminary approval for energy efficiency and conservation block grant program, which is part of the stimulus package. There's a number of programs that are in there, including some more efficient lighting for some city streets that we're going to look at. We're going to also look at improving some of the water distribution technologies, putting more efficient motors in, and also some pre-work for the geothermal system that's going to heat and cool the new Public Works garage as well as the existing RPU plant. I think there were some better projects that we could have done. Hopefully there's some other monies available, but I'm becoming a little bit more skeptical that those other monies are available. But the projects that we are funding, they are quality projects that are worth doing. They're going to pay for themselves many times over. It's a good use of the taxpayers' dollars. Another item that I pulled from the consent agenda is just magically out of the vapor, we had this thing about a no parking zone on the south side of what's going to be the new Walgreens property. Well, I don't really like the process of finding these things just magically showing up on a Friday afternoon with no discussion with the neighborhood, no discussion with the no discussion with other city groups that might be interested in this, and certainly just completely off guard, and then it shows up on the consent agenda. Anyways, it's been tabled until we actually have a site plan in place, which seems like a wiser way to do it. The thing about on-street parking is on-street parking slows down traffic. If neighbors have traffic concerns, as was expressed by the neighbors in this neighborhood, on-street parking is a very good way of slowing items down. It also decreases the size of parking lots we need. Parking lots are really ugly. Even the nicest ones are really ugly. And they're expensive, and they take up space, and they destroy good urban design. Yet, if we continue to take away all of our on-street parking, we're just going to have more parking lots and less density, which means the taxpayers take it in the end. Another thing that came up is the Samaritan Bethany nursing complex. They're going to do a pretty significant expansion up there. I'm delighted to hear that they're working with a LEED certified or LEED accredited professional of the Twin Cities who's really taken some of the architectural components into play. We're building a big building in an existing neighborhood, and I just wanted to make sure that it's a quality building that fits in with the neighborhood. I think we hopefully we learned a lesson about Washington Village, but it does appear that he's going to do a very good job. Some of the discussion was very positive. I haven't heard a whole lot from the neighborhood because they haven't had meetings yet. It's the Northrop neighborhood, but I expect they will be having meetings, and I just it's going to be good to go to their meeting and say, yeah, we're thinking about the neighborhood and how we're laying this out. Really, that's about the extent of it. I mean, the big news this week was obviously the governor's going to take the budget into his own hands. I've been telling people is if you actually look at the operating budget for Rochester for the last decade or so, it's been actually per citizen, it's been going up less than inflation. So essentially we've cut government size here in Rochester, and people look at their property tax statements and say, well, why are my property taxes going up so much? And I have one thing to say about that. Tim Pawlenty. This is your Tim Pawlenty tax. Mr. No New Taxes is raising your taxes. He's just doing it by way of cutting LGA, which forces local governments then to in turn increase property taxes and fees. Now, I wish there was a way to do this fairer than property taxes, because I think property taxes are fundamentally unfair. We're going to tax people living on a fixed income out of their neighborhoods, and that's just not right. And there are much fairer ways to tax, but that can only be done through the state level. And it's unfortunate that Tim Pawlenty continues to leave his irresponsibilities, take them out on cities and local governments. And speaking for the city of Rochester, they've been incredibly efficient with their dollars. There are a lot of things that the city could be doing, but they're just not right now. That would probably be to the benefit of our citizens. But he's going to leave us in a very tough situation with some very severe cuts, and hopefully he finds a conscience in the meantime between now and when he actually makes the cuts. But he's already done a lot to increase our property taxes, and it's really unfortunate. But this myth that of no new taxes is just that. I go back to 1998. At the height of the bubble, Minnesota did some really irresponsible tax cuts at the state level. We've never been able to afford it. We've been in perpetual debt ever since. And instead of fixing the problem, which we've had 6 years since then to actually go back and undo those some of those irresponsible moves of the past. Instead, we play this game of no new taxes, no new taxes, no new taxes. Well, those the only ones that are being protected right now are the wealthiest Minnesota citizens that pay a lower percentage than the rest of us. And it's we're taking taxation from those who have the ability to pay, and we're putting it on our poor citizens. It's really unfortunate that he's gone down this path, but I want to leave no misgivings in anyone's mind of exactly who's responsible for this. And it's really sad that we've come down this path. We have a great history of not only bipartisan but tripartisan great governors with some vision. For all their criticisms, Arnie Carlson was a wonderful governor. Jesse Ventura was a little bit of an oddball, but one thing he certainly did is he certainly did what he said he was going to do, and he was, certainly was entertaining while he was there. But he even had some visions with some things like the Hiawatha Light Rail lines. Those are the two governors that I really remember. Arnie Carlson, I think was looking back now is really a solid governor for the state, and what Tim Pawlenty is doing for the state is just a shame. We deserve so much better than this, and I'm there's plenty of blame to go around, but I want people to know when they get their property tax statements where exactly it's going, and who's responsible for it. And we're going to do everything we can to continue to cut budgets at the city level and keep taxes manageable. But this is just a miserable situation that Tim Pawlenty's put us in. So as always, I'm always available for your comments. You can email me. These videos get posted on a pretty frequent basis. You can contact me on Facebook. Coming up, the Energy Commission has been created now, and those applications will be available. I'm working hard. If you're watching this in the Country Club Manor area, I am really trying to get a list together. It's absolutely vital for me that we're able to start a neighborhood association representing that area. Too often, Country Club Manor is kind of a forgotten leftovers of the city, and there's just so many people out there that's really too bad, and we need to get you a little bit better organized so you have your voices heard. Outside of that, we're still waiting to hear what the governor's final numbers are. And when they do come out, you may get a quick update from me on that as well. But with regards to this too, if you want to see some additional comments, I'd encourage you to watch Jane Balo's show this week on Charter on the Government Access channel. Mark Bilderbeck and myself are on there. I think he made some really good points about neighborhoods, keeping neighborhoods strong, and I have some comments about the the fiscal situation of the city. So if you want to see some more details on that, go ahead and watch that. I've been in here about past 4 months now. It seems like it's been a longer time than that, but certainly the learning curve is great, but that's never an excuse for people not to be involved with this stuff. So I hope you're staying involved. I hope I'm keeping you informed. Take care. Have a great couple of weeks, and I'll be back.